beginners to cycling aren't too sure what the parts are, certain parts on a bike are called, so I'm just going to run through them now and give you a hand. So we'll start with the frame. So the frame's this whole area here, including the fork and all this area right here. Basically everything that hangs off the bike is part of the frame. So what we have here is the top tube. That's the top tube part of the frame. This would be the bottom tube. Right here we have the fork. You can have a solid fork, or you can have a suspension fork like on a mountain bike, like so. This here is a solid carbon fork. Then we have the head tube, which is this area here, and you'll have the seat tube, which is this one here, and a seat post, which is obviously not part of the frame, but it's part of the saddle area here, seat post and seat tube. And here you've got the rear stays or the chain stays. So this rear triangle here, usually called the rear stays or the chain stays. So let's go on to, say, the handlebar area here. So this is a road bike, so this is the handlebar here. They have drops like so. The top area is called the hoods. This is the brake lever and gear levers here. And you have the drops, which is the area, the curved area on a road bike. And then you have the tops as well. So that's basically a handlebar on a road bike. A mountain bike looks more like this, so they're pretty more so flat. And you've got your grips, your brake levers and your gear levers. And yeah, so pretty similar, but obviously mountain bike has a flat bar, road bike has a curved bar like so. Next we have the stem, which is just this area here, and the face plate of the stem. So you can get short or long stems to decrease or increase your reach. The mountain bike also has a stem, just this part here, just there. And then what we have is this area in here. So underneath here there's actually a kind of like a pole, which is called the steerer tube. That goes all the way down here and ends up connecting to the fork, so you can actually steer the bike. So what else we got? That's about it there. Then let's go to the brakes. So these are the front brakes here. Just like that. That's how they stop. The brake clamps onto the rim there. And in there you've got brake pads. Mountain bikes with disc brakes are obviously different. So this is what a disc brake looks like. That's a disc brake. Then obviously you've got your tyre, wheels, spokes, and then you'll have a valve where you put the air in, and inside the wheel here, the part that it spins on, that's called a hub or an axle, but usually a hub. So that's all held on by a quick release skewer on this bike. Both bikes here have a quick release skewer. Some just have a bolt going straight through, and there's a few other little different types of axles, but most commonly these days is the quick release, which is the same on the rear. You have a quick release axle, and same deal, spokes, valve, tyres. On the rear wheel though, you'll have what's called a cassette, so it's these group of gears here, which you can change out for different type of gear ratios and things like that. And you have the rear derailleur, so this is the part that assists in changing gears on the rear cassette here. And yeah, then obviously you have the chain leading up to the cranks. So this part here will be called the crank arm. These are chain wheels or crank wheels, and this here is a front derailleur. So this here controls the front gears, so it'll shift onto the big one or the small one, or depending how many gears you want. You've got some bikes actually don't have any more front gears, so they actually don't have a front derailleur, but this bike does. So on the crank arms at the end you'll have obviously your pedals. These are mountain bike or SPD pedals, so for clipless shoes. What else have we got? So on my bike I have some bottle cages, or bidon cages, or bottle holders. Bidon is just another word for your bottle that you use on your bike. Moving up, we've got this seat post here, which is attached to our saddle. Saddle's just the seat. And on this bike I have a saddle bag with some spare tubes and some tools. These here are more your normal platform pedals, so you don't clip into those, your feet just go straight on top. This whole area here, usually when someone refers to what's called a group set, they're usually means the cranks, the cassette, derailleurs, and sometimes even the brakes. So this bike here has an Ultegra group set. It's full Ultegra, so the whole bike, everything on it is Ultegra, so which is Shimano's group set model. So as you can see, rear derailleur Ultegra, the cassette is Ultegra, front derailleur, everything's Ultegra, brakes, everything. So that's what a group set is. What else? One thing I almost forgot to mention is in here behind your crank, so this area at the bottom of your frame right in here, that's called the bottom bracket. You'll probably hear that a lot, or BB, but yeah, that's called the bottom bracket, and inside there is like a rod with some bearings that connects this side of the crank to the other side of the other side of your crank arm or pedal, so that allows that motion to occur nice and smoothly. And obviously you have things like cables for the brakes. This bike here doesn't have any cables for the front or rear derailleur or any gear shifting because it is electronic. So I think that covers most of the parts you can at least see on the bicycle from the outside. Hope that helped. Please subscribe and I'll see you soon. Thanks for watching.